But the thing is, Friday people are tired because it's a work day, but the show's late, and they fool themselves. Like everyone thinks a Friday is the weekend, but it's really a work day, right? So people come out on a weekend, and then it's cold, and they sit behind a tree. So that's that. Did I say sit behind a tree? What did I say?
I think that's what you said. Yeah.
That's what you said.
Oh man,
I don't know what you meant.
No, I meant.
We're both sick, everybody. Both me and Brian are sick today.
I'm not okay, and I'm on a lot of drugs. Welcome back, BS with Brian Simpson, everybody. What was this, episode 57?
56.
56.
Right?
Yeah, something like that. It's something like that. I mean, no, we're not exacting around here.
Close enough for TV.
We've officially hit enough episodes where we can look back and see that we were horribly wrong about a lot of things.
Still there?
Yeah, I'm here. You lost me?
Yeah, no, you're back. Maybe I might plug in directly.
Yeah, we've been horribly wrong about a great many of things, which is how podcasts work. You put enough episodes out, you look back and go,
What would you say our biggest miss was?
No, I don't know about you. My biggest miss, at least the one I'm the most ashamed about, is when I fucked up the Marine Corps ranks.
Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing, Brian. Pretty embarrassing for you.
It was pretty embarrassing, but you can't always win them all. You can't come in here on just any substances and just start recalling facts.
True.
I think this is going to be a mailbag episode. Oh, first elephant in the room, Diablo 4. Team, BSers. I'm not gonna name listeners. But I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I pre-ordered Diablo 4. They had a free open beta this weekend. And once you get to like level 8 or 9, you can't keep going unless you pre-order. And it was so good.
They got your ass so bad.
They got me so bad. That's like the drug dealer standing on the side going, pss, 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 kid. And the first one's free. But you know what, man? Now listen. I have because listen, it's no different from Diablo Immortal. I mean, this game is way better than that one. But it's Diablo. The graphics are updated, the mechanics are updated, the story's not bad. And just like Diablo Immortal, it's an excellent game. There's excellent gameplay underneath. Now, the open beta was free. So the question will be, how will they monetize this game? Because that's what made Diablo Immortal one of the worst games of all time, probably. Like one of the biggest middle fingers to a fan base that I've ever seen. Maybe the Washington Commanders tops that. It's like but man, it was good. It was fun. I don't know. I think it says a lot about, like, if you can only play Diablo for a limited amount of time, I think it says a lot about you which class you pick,
Who'd you pick?
There was a druid, there was a necromancer, barbarian, wizard or sorcerer. I forget which one they went with this time. And then I think
only three of them were playable, right? Rogue, barbarian, and sorcerer, right?
I don't know, because I went straight for sorcerer. I ain't even try all that other shit. I'm a sorcerer guy through and through.
Are the other two druid and necromancer? Is that the other ones in the main?
Druid, no, because I saw druids. I didn't see any barbarians.
Oh, okay. I thought it was barbarian.
I saw druids. Because what was crazy is the druid was bigger than the barbarian. I saw a bunch of people because you're in the server with other people, so I saw people turning into bears and shit. And I saw people with skeletons following them, but I don't recall seeing any. But
that's saying barbarian, sorceress, druid, rogue, and necromancer are the 5 playable classes.
No, I think you can play them all though. Because my boy said.
Oh, you can? Okay.
My boy said he was a rogue. I didn't look in on that, and I'm pretty sure. And I was a wizard, and I saw druids. But you know what? I didn't see any barbarians. No, and I saw necromancers. Whatever. It was fun. It was very fun. It was the power fantasy is there. I think they still get a little confusing when it comes to like all the shit you can do in terms of adjustments and adding stuff to the weapons. I just think it's just a lot of shit. You know, it's beyond mere upgrades. You know, it's all this other shit that I don't want to have to worry. I don't want to have to figure out or learn about, but I will. If the game just comes out just like it is now and they have like a season pass model, I'll be in heaven. And if they fucking play with me, Path of Exile 2 is right around the corner.
There you go.
That still might end up being a better game anyway. And you know what's so funny? It's not too late to. I think it's not too late to refund the pre-order because now that I'm thinking about it, now that the high's worn off. But Path of Exile is one of those companies where it's like I want to give them money and I don't even know how. Like, they could just do a GoFundMe or something. Like, when is part 2 coming out? My guys, like, I'm waiting on it. Like, I'll give them $1,000 if that game is gonna come out, because it's been in the making for what, years? They've been talking
I'm looking
about
up right now. Let's see. They're still dropping expansions for number 1, which came out 10 years ago.
Right. And my one issue with Path of Exile is that they force the sex of your character. Like, whatever class you want to pick, if it's a male or female, like, that's what it is. You can't switch your sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the sorcerer in Path of Exile is a woman, and you can't be a male sorcerer. And the barbarian is a man, and you can't be a female barbarian, period. Which I think is kind of dumb. But that's my only gripe with Path of Exile.
Well, they're biological determinists, Brian.
or something. I mean, it just seems like a weird restriction in a game that's so full of customization. It just seems like the strangest thing to restrict people on. But
I know some people were complaining about Diablo 4, how you couldn't like change the voice, and there wasn't a lot of alterations you could make on the character designs. I don't know if that's going to be updated or upgraded for the actual game release, but some people were complaining about that.
It depends on how many of us suckers fucking pre-ordered the game.
I don't agree with that. I think the plans that they have are the plans that they have right now. I don't know if it's going to affect anything.
All right. Yeah, but you know, I let you all down, and I'm a traitor. But let's see if I got maybe I can get my money back right now. I mean, but the thing is, I know I'm going to buy the game anyway when it come out.
Sure.
But I had given it to him beforehand, though. That's, you can't do it. You can't do
principle.
it. Yeah.
The principle of the thing.
It's like you just starting to date somebody and you're just always available. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I'll be over here anytime, just as soon as you call. It's like, you're not going to fuck that girl. You know what I mean? That's gross. It's like you just let them know you're so desperate. Just take all my money. I don't even need to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
I trust you.
But a free open beta, I mean, you know, that's a good way to suck people in. But here's what I hate, though. You got to wait, goddamn. I think the real actual game don't come out till June. You got to wait. That's too long. Anyway. Let's do, this is a mailbag kind of day, right? There hasn't been a great video game that's come out in a long time. I mean, Hogwarts was mechanically damn good. But I lost interest so fast. You know, it's so funny. After we had the conversation about it, I haven't played it since. And it wasn't even on some moral shit. I just lose interest in games like that.
It apparently had a huge drop-off in the number of active online players. Like right after all the kerfuffle died down about the political shit. That's usually how it happens. Right when people shut the fuck up about it, that's when it don't have no attention. I mean, Elden Ring was pretty dope. That's recent. See, I never could get into Elden Ring. I tried so hard, and I didn't realize that like Steam won't let you refund the game twice. So if you refund the game and then you buy it again and try to refund it again, they won't let you do it. Because Elden Ring's one of those games where
where I think because it has a reputation of for being difficult in areas where they couldn't. They would purposely make it frustrating for no reason because they're like, we're Elden Ring. That's what it's supposed to be. Everyone's supposed to be frustrated, but it's like just shit like the menus. Like you couldn't change, or like how the button layout at least when it first came out, the buttons in the menu were for controller only. Even though I just bought the game on the PC, and you have to change it, you have to like dig deep to change it, little shit like that. Like a lot of it just seemed like just playing the game was frustrating. Not even getting into the action and the fights and stuff, but I don't know. I couldn't get into it, and I was crazy.
Didn't they do that with like poise in one of the like in one of the games? There was a attribute. I think it might have been Dark Souls 2. There was an attribute that didn't actually do anything, and it was just a trap for people. Never told you what it was.
That kind of shit make me like, I'm not fucking with this bullshit, man. I'm not trying to be. Listen, I don't know why game developers do this, but like something being difficult, even though something difficult can be frustrating, making something just intentionally frustrating for no reason isn't difficulty. It's just bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean within 10 minutes of me downloading the game, something always happens to me like, man, fuck this game. And I like to watch little clips of it and shit. Like, it looks cool, but I don't feel like it's worth whatever amount of time people put into it.
That was a frustration I have with Bloodborne, which I have because I got it on PlayStation, whatever the year-long subscription is, PS Plus or whatever it was. I got Bloodborne, and I love the style of Bloodborne and everything, but I played it, and I was just like, I don't have time to get good at this game.
Yeah.
And literally from the very beginning, the first thing you do in that game is like, okay, choose your starting weapon loadout, and I chose wrong. I didn't choose like the saw thing that like extends, and I chose like the big axe, and they're like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have done that. I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking start over.
Oh, the game says that?
No, I looked up online. I was like, why can't I couldn't do anything in the game. Like, I was just getting my ass beat bad. And I played Dark Souls before, so like I know about From Software hardness. You know what I mean? I know about their From Software difficulty.
Remember Ninja Gaiden?
Oh, dude, that game was so fucking hard.
It was so hard. But that game was hard because it was just difficult. It took skill to play, but at no point did they purposely like frustrate you.
They didn't purposely trick you in that game. That was just a pure skill issue.
Never beat it. I don't know anyone that's beat that game.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's played Ninja Gaiden and actually beaten that goddamn game.
Nah.
You're talking about like the NES version.
Yeah, not I think it was N64.
Oh, well, there was the
Ninja Gaiden. I know people that beat that game. I'm talking about the 3D joint when it first went 3D.
Oh,
maybe that was even Xbox. Yeah, I think it was an Xbox.
I think that was Xbox.
But
yeah,
it was
Xbox.
It was pretty and it was fucking hard. It was real hard. Yeah, but I don't wish my core game that I play like constantly is Overwatch. Like I'll stop playing Overwatch to go and play a little game over here and come back, but Overwatch is the one that sucked me in, and I can't even explain why. Are you tired of your dick sticking to your balls? It's uncomfortable. It's sweaty. Nobody likes it. Enter SHEATH underwear. It has 2 pouches, one for your dick, one for your balls. SHEATH underwear comes in tons of cool patterns to help you look good and feel comfortable. It is. I use them. I don't use the dick pocket. I do use the ball pocket, and it's revolutionary. All my underwear are SHEATH now. Go ahead and live your dreams without your balls stuck to your leg. For our ladies in the audience, check out SHEATH sports bras, bikini briefs, and boy shorts. Do they put your titties in a pocket too? Okay, I guess that is what a bra is. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use code BS to get 20% off your first order. Plus, SHEATH Underwear's 100% money-back guarantee. That's right, we'll take them draws back. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code BS. Get SHEATH Underwear, support the show, support your balls. I don't know. Anyway, it's mailbag day, right? Let's do mailbag shit, can we? I don't see any starred ones. You said you starred.
There's plenty of starred ones in there, Brian.
There's 4. Okay, I see.
No, there's way more than 4. But why don't we start down?
There's 4
further
unread
at the bottom.
Do you ever mark? Do you mark them as unread?
I don't mark them as unread. I just put the star on there. I can mark them as unread.
Okay. Well, no, let's do this. Okay. Nico. Okay. You want me to say your name? Well, I did. Okay. I have a girl I love, but she don't do shit around the house. Best way to bring that up. By the way, best way to bring that up? Question. By the way, you funny as shit. Always a fan. Put that bitch out your house. What you mean she don't? Now wait a minute, because look, you know it's hard to write the perfect email because you got to strike that perfect balance between giving me enough information to go on and also not writing, a fucking novel, right? So I have a girl I love, but she don't do shit around the house. Now listen, if you're saying she stays home all day and don't do shit, yeah, you gotta put her out. You gotta put her out because that's gonna get out of control, and it's gonna slowly. Because listen, love's not enough. You know what I mean? And that's not just a great James Bond film. That's the truth. People been telling us that from every generation. What's love got to do with it? Etc. But it's like you can love a motherfucker from a distance. You know what I'm saying? But you come home every day and ain't shit done, and you got to do everything around the house. You're gonna start feeling underappreciated. You're gonna start resenting her, and it's going to end badly. And you might have a couple fucking children before it's all said and done with a bitch you can't stand now that don't do shit around the house. And then your kid's gonna grow up in a dirty ass house because you ain't even gonna be there. Now I'm catastrophizing. But yeah, I'm like, hey, this is one of the things you got to be direct. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what type of person your girl is, but I think you have to lead with how this makes you feel. Like, babe, when you don't help out around the house, it makes me feel X. And she gonna either receive that or reject it. If she rejects it, you gotta let her go. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she worked too, and still. Chores are the foundation of every relationship. Or let me restate that. Responsibilities are the foundation, and how they're divvied up, and whether everyone feels that it's fair, whether everyone feels because the thing is, right now you have a dependent, not a partner, and no one wants that. I mean, I don't. This is just another child that you got raised, and then this ain't one of your children. You trying to teach her how to be an adult, man, this would fucking kill me because people very close to me, I have uncles and brothers and all that I've seen grow up with good for nothing assholes that I just wish they would have had the balls to fucking kick to the curb. But it always ends bad. Got a tissue? Yeah. It always ends bad. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, he doesn't give us a lot of information, but assuming that she's not doing any housework or whatever, and I'm going to assume that he wants parity with that because we're kind of past the point where like the woman's supposed to do all the work in the house, right?
I mean, unless she don't work.
Yeah, if she doesn't, but he says, I feel like he would have brought that up if that was the case, right? If she wasn't working and she wasn't doing anything around the house, don't you think he would have brought that up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so she this material. Okay, I feel like, listen, if you home all day, you definitely got to do the bulk of the work.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
And if we're both working, you damn sure can't be doing none of the work. Or hey babe, let's say we both work. Hey babe, let's hire a maid. You know what I mean? Like, I think you have to, because here's the real talk, bro. So many relationships break down because of lack of communication. And you have to just be direct about what you want, like what you need to feel supported. You know, and your feelings about this whole subject. You got to be able to. And a lot of times men don't know. They have a hard time with that. But like, hey, babe, this frustrates me. This makes me feel like I'm alone. It makes me feel like I'm not supported. It makes me feel like I want to fuck other people. You know what I mean? Whatever the truth is.
I don't know if I'd drop that last part, but I think you're 100% correct about the issue. Explaining your issue. Don't get caught in the trap of having an argument about who's doing the most work, because she's going to have something locked and loaded for that. You need to have a discussion on her terms, which is, this is how this makes me feel. When I come home and
you haven't done a goddamn thing,
and there's dirty dishes in the sink, or whatever the particular thing is that you wish that she would do and she's not doing, to say, this is how it makes me feel, and this is what would make me feel loved.
Now, now here's the other thing, Nico. Unless you tell me that she's this rare unicorn that just all she do is stay sexy, always smelling good, and as soon as you come in the house, she dive at your dick and suck DNA out of it, then if you got that, you probably should be quiet, because you're gonna fuck that up. That's just the price you gotta pay to get superhead every day. But that's the only way I could justify this behavior. It's like, you don't do anything around the house, you don't contribute whatsoever. Nah. Come on, but you knew the answer to that, man. You did. This girl must be bad. This girl must be bad. But you know what? I ain't never had no chores pussy. I ain't never had no pussy where I'm like, I don't want this girl to have to lift a finger. No. But I hear it's out there. We got a voicemail.
That don't last though.
No.
No, I mean,
you got them rare. Like I said, there's rare unicorn freaky motherfuckers out here that's like, They doing all those things that you want, and maybe, yeah, you're right, they don't last. Maybe you could be placated a little bit, but ain't no motherfucking way I'm gonna be paying bills and coming home. I don't know, man.
Well, also when you're 60 years old, I promise you're gonna care more about a clean house than a well-sucked dick.
Yeah, and you're right. And for me, because I would just get to the point where I'm like, let's hire a maid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to do shit, let's just hire a maid, because I don't want to do shit either.
Yeah.
Or maybe y'all ain't got it like that. Okay, hold on, just once. What the fuck? I can't play the Tony Rouse voicemail. Let me see here.
Yeah, start that one over.
Find something positive in this show to make you a better person, Mr. New Zealand. Come on. Find something positive in this show, Mr. New Zealand. Oh, jeez.
Talking about the last episode.
For Saudis. Yeah. No homeless people. That sounds good, except that it seems that everything has a price. So to have a free house for a Saudi, I guess what they normally do over there is they bring in a bunch of workers from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, treat them like shit, horrendous injury rates, loads of people dead in construction, and then when they no longer need it, you just send them home. It's like, you buy a Tesla so you can...
Well, we do all that shit here too.
Yeah.
Right? We do all that shit here too.
Yeah.
But we don't get free houses and golden fucking...
So you can virtue signal about how great you are, but according to Siddharth Kara's book that I recently read, for every Tesla you buy, there's a 17-year-old girl with a baby strapped to her back, working in a cobalt mine, both of them being poisoned and dying. Oh, geez, the positive things just keep coming, Brian. We want every banker to be Epsteined.
Okay.
We want to...
That's not fair, Tony. I didn't say every banker. Just most of them.
Right.
Yeah. Not every single banker. Like, I don't want tellers getting dragged out in the street. But I want... Listen, I put it like this. I would settle... Oh, fuck no. I would settle for a just one banker being executed per decade spanning fraud. That seems reasonable. Okay.
Whatever the minimum number is to keep the rest of them in check.
Right. Like whichever banker has to die for the rest of them to like behave.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Like me, I can't afford to eat in the restaurants the bankers eat, and that's already happening, bro. Oh, a time machine, so we can go back in time and we can hear the noise that people make when their heads get chopped off. A cheery thought. But then I finally came, and I probably already knew this, just hadn't been paying attention, something positive. Rob's going to have a baby. That's awesome, mate. I know from listening to your show that you're going to be a fucking awesome dad. That kid's very lucky to have you. You're caring, you're compassionate, and we need more parents like you in the world. See you guys.
Oh, that was a very kind thing for Tony to say.
That was very sweet. Yeah, I mean, of the two of us, I think it is definitely better if Rob has children. Yeah, I don't care enough.
we just had our baby shower over the weekend, and I got sick as shit from it, Brian.
Yeah, from all those other people with those nasty ass kids.
Correct. Yes, we were staying in my sister-in-law's house, and she has 4 children, and they're tiny little petri dishes running around, and I got very, very sick. But you know what? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, unless it fucks you up.
Yeah, that's what they say. Let's just call this person Gregory. Hey, Brian. Just watched you on YMH podcast and need advice with starting a new relationship with an old girlfriend. Nope. I don't even need to read the rest of this. Absolutely not. Why are you doing that? Why are you going and digging in the garbage for something you threw away? Now, listen, there are minor exceptions to the rules. I will read the rest of your email. But just in general, 99% of the time, this is a bad idea because your first relationship ended for a reason. And usually those reasons still apply. You know, going back to an ex is just it's just easy access to intimacy. You know what I mean? You don't have to crack the combination anymore. You don't have to do the work to getting to know a person and slowly being more vulnerable and slowly letting them be more vulnerable. So you go back to your ex where you don't got to do any of that. You already know if they do they got the right look in the right body language. You already know you about to fuck. You already know you got them all figured out. But that's why you left their ass. When you left them, you had them figured out. So anyway, there are exceptions again, but let's see where we headed here. I dated this lady when we were both 19. We're 32 now. Okay, I was going to say that's one of the exceptions. It's been a really long time. No, that's not an exception, but that's one where I think I understand why you would assume that it is. But this is dangerous, right? And I'm going to finish this letter.
Can I ask a question real quick, though?
What?
Can I ask a question? So does that change the calculus for you? Because, 19 to 32, you're basically, in some ways, a different person. In some ways, you're the exact same person. Right. But in some ways, you could be a different person.
No, but here's the danger here, and I've done this. Plenty of people have fallen victim to this. The problem is when you date somebody when you're young, and then all these years go by, because your core person doesn't change.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's like all these years go by, but they are a different person, and that's where it's dangerous because it's very easy and it's damn near impossible not to. You sort of give them credit for so you don't make them start over in terms of getting to know you, because they are a different person. You don't know this motherfucker at 32. Unless you tell me y'all been keeping in touch this whole time. But otherwise, you don't know this person, and yet you're letting them in the front gate. And you're not treating them like a new person. You let them right in, like y'all picking up where y'all left off. And
you're waving them through security.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you waving them through security just because you recognize their face, and you don't know shit about them. So that's the hardest part about this. But let's see where this goes. We were both 19. We are 32 now. We dated for a short time. The breakup was prompted by me cheating on her. Okay. She ended up dating my cousin a few years later and has been around my family since then. What do you mean been around your family? You mean she fucked everybody? Hold on. My cousin dated her for several years. That relationship fizzled out, but she is still good friends with my family and even works with them on a food truck. Boy. Okay. My cousin moved on to a new girl already. He is out of the picture completely, and this girl is straight up. She's loyal, has a good work ethic, and doesn't have an attitude or sass. What prompted the new interest is buying and selling weed to each other, but not really hanging out too much. My family has been trying to hook me up with her, but is trying to be subtle about it. Also, she has been more friendly than usual. Gives me certain looks, trying to extend conversations, so I'm not misreading any signals. She also looks hotter than usual when we do small deals. For your information, I have a real job. The weed thing is just a personal use. I don't like being set up with women because I like to pursue them. The real issue is that she dated my cousin for so long. I'm not sure if she has an STD, as I don't have any, and I'm careful. I'm looking to get serious with the relationship. Wife, kids, etc. Neither of us have been married or have kids. I'm finally at a point in my life that I can afford to do that. I'm fairly certain she wants that also, which is why her last relationship ended. I never hear or see my cousin and is rarely at family gatherings, but might end up seeing him at holidays. I guess it wouldn't be too awkward. I'm not the type of person to really care about what other people think. Plus, everyone seems cool with it. My question for you, Brian, is do I lean into this and try to start dating her, or do I back off? You back way the fuck off. What are you talking about? Because, goddamn. How do I do this without sounding like Kevin Samuels?
I say you lean into the Kevin Samuels on this one, Brian.
How do I top G? No, because listen, man. First of all, you're gonna throw a grenade in your social circle here. One, right? Two, if this ends badly, she works with your family, so you got to see her all the damn time. Three, she broke up with you and dated your cousin. You know what I mean? And now, for whatever reason, she's 32 and single with no kids, working on a food truck. I think you can probably do better, bruh. Like, maybe she looking hotter than usual or whatever the fuck, but this just seems like chaos that you don't need. You're not in love with this girl. This just seems like easy to you. Like I said, this is a situation where it's not gonna require much of you. And that's so tempting, but it's not the move. This girl is, for all intents and purposes, a loser. I mean, I just feel like, imagine that the situation was reversed, and you've been working on her family's food truck since y'all dated at 19. You left her, fucked her cousin, broke up with them. Now you working on her family's food truck. Now she come back. She got a successful career. You ain't say what you did, but now you can finally afford to have kids and a family. Right, so she comes back. She finished nursing school. Now she making 6 figures, and you working on a food truck. You think y'all got a chance? Hell no. This And now listen. Here's the other thing. I'm telling you what you should do, but I understand that love is tricky. Those feelings are tricky, and if you dive in, I forgive you. But this doesn't sound, on paper, this don't sound like a good idea. Your abuela, she would say the same thing I'm saying to you. Or maybe not. Because grandmas, they get to a certain point where they just want grandbabies and they don't care what decisions you make.
Yeah, he says that his family is sort of not pushing him into it, but...
Yeah, but family's a vague word. Which people in the family? Not everybody. Not your cousin.
Probably not. Well, you never know. Maybe the cousin's like, yeah, get her away from me. Close that door for me.
He's falling for pussy by proximity.
Yes.
Ooh, this man out here, he breaking out the whole education. Pussy by proximity. Yeah, it's because it's there.
It's easy. It's easy. He feels like this is a known quantity because they dated when they were 19, and he sees her every once in a while because he does these little weed deals and shit. And it's a dog going back to its own vomit because it's right there on the floor.
Yeah, man. This is
It's low effort.
Yeah, this is the fallback. That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like you her fallback plan. You know what I mean? She's made bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, and now you there. You know what I'm saying? And maybe she is what's best for you. I don't know this girl. I don't know her intentions. I don't know her heart. But it looks like neither do you. You know? So, good luck with that.
Also, he's not saying, hey, shit went sideways with this girl last time that we were together, but now, we're older, we're different people, and I think I'm in love with her. He doesn't say that. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is he's potentially ready for something deeper, kids, marriage, etc., and he's going to go back to somebody that he used to date and that his cousin used to date? No.
Yeah, that's a bad move. That's a bad move, my guy. Hey, hit us back up. Let us know how this turns out. Okay? Also, it's like they never include a picture of the baddie because that also changes the calculation. Like I said, because there's rare. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. This is a bad decision, but there are women out there who who I would totally understand if you made that bad decision for. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You don't gamble because listen, this could be the greatest girl that's you ever lived. She could be the diamond in the rough that everybody just kept walking by. You know what I mean? But that's unlikely. But if you take this gamble on like a regular girl, nah, absolutely not. Even if you take this gamble on a fucking smoking hot girl, it's still a bad idea. But I'm like, I get it. But just a regular girl, nah, that's not worth it. Not at all. Yeah. You got bad judgment. Don't do it. Okay, next email. Let me see here. From Drew. Wait a minute. Killer Robots. Hi, Brian. I was listening to you on YMH, and you talked about the new police robots in LA, and it reminded me about what happened in Dallas in 2016. There was a shooter held up in a parking garage shooting cops. The police sent in a robot used to disarm bombs, I believe on the pretense of trying to communicate with the shooter, but the robot was actually packed with explosives and blew the person up. I always wonder why this didn't get more coverage or any legal ramifications at all. If a robot murders someone, it can get tricky with trying to prove who is responsible. Just wondering what your opinion is and if you think they will actually add guns to AI control robots. Is there any way for the outcome to be a positive one? Well, I don't think the robots will be AI controlled, but they're definitely going to put guns on the motherfuckers. Yeah, absolutely.
I think as soon as they start putting guns on them, it's only a matter of time before they start making them AI controlled.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But see, I don't know.
They're already testing AI drones for the military.
I mean, listen, maybe the patrol wise, like I said, yeah, there will be some kind of AI that is adjusting the algorithm for when they patrol and stuff like that. But I think when they start shooting people, like that's somebody making that call. That's not like the AI isn't deciding when they engage. I think it's just patrolling and then alerting, and then someone else is making the decisions.
I think maybe I have to disagree with you on that one. Actually, I think that it is only a matter of time because by putting it in the hands of an AI, it relieves the police who are putting the robots out there of the quote unquote responsibility for the people that they end up killing.
But here's what you're missing, Rob. If you put it in the hands of the AI, then it may apply the law evenly.
Well, no, they know it's not going to do that because they're going to train it on racist data.
Oh, is that what you think? No, but I mean, what happens if it sees because whether they admit it out loud or not, cops break the law all the time, and they let other cops slide, they let other cops speed, like even off the clock and stuff like that. And what if this AI don't give a fuck about none of that? He's like, you broke the law. Like they're gonna lose some of that if they just let the robot decide everything. then there's going to be a lot more cops in trouble for things that they didn't.
That's true.
So
But are they gonna think of that? I don't know if they always think through
they're not gonna think of it, but they're gonna become aware of it real fucking fast, and they're gonna do something about it. You know?
No, you're right. The first time it shoots an off-duty cop for running a red light, then they'll shut that whole program down.
Right, exactly. All right, next question. Brian, I love your comedy. I've been following you for a few years. I don't know what to do with myself around on Sunday afternoons. I'm all done with my weekend catch-ups. I don't know how to relax. This stuck doomsday feeling comes over me. I feel like if I'm not working, fixing house stuff, I'm worthless. I wish I could kick back like I used to. That sounds like depression. Right? I don't know. I've been following you for years. Following me for years is a sign of depression. I don't know what to do with myself around on Sunday afternoons. I'm all done with my weekend catch-ups. This must be a British guy. I don't know how to relax. Oh, man. Well, yeah, that's that. I don't have that problem at all. I don't know how to relax. Sounds like you need to work, I don't know, burn off some energy. And this wasn't really a question. This was just you going, I'm worthless. I wish I could kick back like I used to. So you're saying you lack the ability to chill.
Yeah, he's asking how to chill. I think that's
oh,
the implication
yeah,
of this
man.
email.
You know, that's when I recommend maybe a little marijuana, perhaps some psilocybin. They're both, well, the marijuana makes you feel chill, but it doesn't help. And the psilocybin is going to make you see the problem, but also it's not going to give you the solution. You just kind of got to be smart enough. Now, I don't know how smart or dumb you are, the person writing this, but if you're at least a little intelligent, I think that'll help. But I know what you mean. The stuck doomsday feeling, like, is this all there is? You know, you're just working and fixing stuff and going to work so you can have enough money to go back home and fix stuff and go back to work, and it feels like this never-ending bullshit cycle. But just don't hurt anybody unless it's a banker.
I would also say part of this is, this does sound like depression on one hand, and a lot of times people use work as a way to distract themselves from their depression or their existential angst. But this also sounds like anxiety. This sounds like he's shutting down because he has anxiety about the upcoming week, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like he has an adorable cat. Adorable black cat in his PFP right there. So yeah, man, how can you be depressed with a beautiful cat? I'm sorry, I'm kidding. I do it all the time. Yeah, man, I just recommend that, you got to make some major change up in your life. You got to take drastic measures to try to chill out. Go on a goddamn spa day. Get a deep tissue sports massage. Get a haircut. Buy a hooker. Etc. Get a puppy.
Some people lose their chill. So one way that anxiety, that energy, convert it and give back. Habitat for Humanity. Go do something for somebody else.
Right. And listen, get the massage with the happy end, Get the massage where you come at the end. That's way better. I don't understand why this is frowned upon. I think it should be standard stuff. Like every masseuse should have like an armband on or whatever that says whether they can do hand jobs. But it should be a respected part of the profession, Like you major.
Just in general, we should if we just allowed people to do sex work.
Yeah, like you can minor in hand jobs.
Better world.
You can major in masseuserie. Is that what you call it? Is it masseuserie?
Masseuserie?
Is it masseuserie?
Masseuserie sounds like a vaguely racist term, but I don't know why.
Really? But what do they call it? It's just massage.
It's just massage.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh wow, Masseuserie's way better though. Come on, y'all. Come on, Masseuserie.
How was the restaurant? It was pretty good, but there's a lot of masseuserie there. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of Masseuserie. No, Masseuserie. It doesn't sound like massages, but it does sound like, it's like dark magic. Sounds like dark magic. Masseuserie. We'll see.
Oh, that's the 6th class in Diablo 4. It's the masseuse.
Yeah. By the way, if you have sent in applications for the editing job and stuff, we have seen them. We are going over them. Rob's going over them. So
Yep.
But he's got a baby on the way, so it's coming. But somebody will get back to you.
I've made a decision, and I'm replying to everybody.
Oh, okay.
So
he has made a decision.
If you wrote in, I will definitely respond to you. And I will say this as well, even if, because we chose one person for this show, but Fanico has lots of other shows, and if you wrote in, then the chances are very good that your name is in the hopper for potentially other work, because there are a lot of other people who are writing in just saying like, hey, they're trying to get into production or they're trying to get into post-production, and so you might get a message from me about doing some work on other shows as well.
Okay, somebody got the jam, so I can delete this. Unless it's the person you picked. Damn, I unstarted. Maybe you started. Maybe no, I did. Okay.
Just leave it.
Well, let's do. Okay, we gotta do a couple more here. What did he do? Sundays. Damn, David. I really do hope you feel better, man. That's a shitty feeling. But you gotta do drugs, or good hand jobs. Okay. It's from another Brian. Hey, Brian. First time, long time here. What does that mean? Oh, first time caller, long time listener. I get it. Wanted to start off by just saying I appreciate the pod you and Rob put together every week. I've been following you since you were on Two Bears a couple years ago, and you've quickly become one of my favorite comedians and podcasters since. I got the chance to see you at the Richmond Funny Bone last year, and you fucking crushed it. Yeah, as one does. I worked at a different Funny Bone back in 2015 until early 2019. One thing I always found interesting was that the comedian's preferred show of the weekend. Some of them like Saturday late show because they felt like that was when the crowds were the drunkest and the easiest to please. Some liked Friday early show since it was often the first show of the weekend. I even remember one comedian telling me Sunday show is my favorite because it means I'm close to getting the fuck back home. So my question to you is that when you're doing a weekend at the club, do you have preferred show or weekend? Yeah, I mean, I would say the early Saturday show is usually the best show to me. But it surprises me sometimes. But almost always, to me, that's the best show because,
You said the early Saturday?
Early Saturday, yeah.
Early Saturday.
Yeah. Potentially we early Friday. But the thing is, Friday people are tired because it's a work day, but the show's late. And they fool themselves. Like everyone thinks of Friday as the weekend, but it's really a work day, right? So people come out on a weekend and then it's cold and they sit behind a tree. So that's that. Did I say sit behind a tree? What did I say?
I think that's what you said. Yeah.
That's what you said.
Oh man.
I don't know what you meant.
No, I meant
we're both sick, everybody. Both me and Brian are sick today.
I'm not okay. And I'm on a lot of drugs. But the late Friday show is usually the worst. Unless there's a Thursday or a Sunday. But usually the late Friday show is the worst because everyone's tired. And they think that the weekend, they make plans for the weekend, and then when it comes, it's a weekday, and it's late. The later show, they're more tired, or they try to keep up and get drunk. It's just less energy.
They're tired and drunk at the same time.
And
whereas on Saturday they're drunk, and Friday early they're tired.
Now the late Saturday show is usually the rowdiest crowd because they're just drunk. Like they've been drinking before they got there, and now they drinking more. So that's usually the drunkest crowd. Some people prefer that. I don't. So I think your best potential to get a great set on tape and stuff like that. It's usually the early. Like if I was ever in a situation where I needed to get a tape and I could only afford to tape one of the shows, it would be the early Saturday show. You know?
I don't like going to comedy shows late on a Saturday because I think it gets a little too out of hand. People get very chaotic. There's a lot of talkback or even heckling from the audience. And when I go see a show, especially like a comedy show, I want to see the comedian perform their art. I don't really like tons of like unnecessary crowd work and stuff like that. And sometimes on a late Saturday show, even the comedians who are really good at wrangling the audience, like, you know, like a Stavros Halkias or something like that, it can be interesting to watch them do their thing, but sometimes I'm just like, hey, can everybody shut the fuck up so this person can do their jokes that they like spent time writing?
Oh yeah, some people do get super frustrated by that. Yeah, and I've had to stop people from fighting, and I've never seen it come to blows, at least not in the crowd. But some people get real frustrated with hecklers, like more than I do.
I hate that shit, dude. I hate it so much. I can't stand that shit.
Just adult weirdos.
I mean, I wish that a lot more comedians would just pull the trigger faster on just kick that motherfucker out. Like, because yeah, every once in a while there is like some chaos that happens at a show, and a comedian is able to pivot and, you know, squeeze something really funny out of it, and you're like, oh, I'm glad I was here for that. But that's like 2% of the time, you know. It's very rare that happens. It's almost every single time. It's like, I wish that person had just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because if you do make a funny moment of it, then a lot of people leave that show thinking that it's okay because it was funny. Yeah. It's like, fuck a heckler, fuck people. What it really is they just want attention. That person is not used to sitting still for so long with no one paying attention to them.
Right.
Yeah. All right. One more. Hey, Brian and Rob. Big fan of the pod. And I've been a fan of Brian's for a while. I'm a musician and filmmaker in NYC and trained at Berklee College of the Music. Over the past few years, starting when I was in college, I've been extremely depressed and lost a lot of confidence and self-esteem. I've been taking care of this recently and have been improving significantly. Golly. I am now confident in my skills and creativity, but due to my depression while at college, I didn't develop many connections, and this continued when I got back. I'm trying to establish myself in the industry, but have been feeling lost and don't really know where to start. I have the necessary artistry and technical skills, but little professional experience. Any thoughts you guys might have about steps I could take, professionally and otherwise, to make a name for myself would be much related. Again, big fan of the pod and hope to catch a show whenever you are in NYC. Oh, it's from Peter. So I'm not sure what he's really asking here.
He's asking what steps he's in a situation where he is a drummer. He's a musician, and he went to Berklee,
Yep.
As far as anything,
it's
proving,
like there's a requirement for if you go to Berklee that you have to tell everyone as soon as possible.
But I'm glad that he told us that, though, because that indicates to me that he at least has the talent and the skill necessary to make it at some level in the music industry. You know, that doesn't mean that you're going to be a rock star, but you could work in recording, you could work at a studio. There's different things that you can do. You at least have some baseline aptitude in your chosen profession.
Right.
Right.
And he's trying to get us to what?
He's asking, he's saying that what can he do to get started in that profession, having missed out on the opportunity of networking in college? Because most people, what they do, it's like going to USC for filmmaking or going to Berklee for music. One of the main things, or going to Cal Arts for animation or whatever, one of the main purposes of going to those schools is you get to network with the people who are going to be hiring you later on, or know the people who are going to hire you later on. But he was depressed during college, and he didn't have a very active social life. He didn't make those connections. So now he's feeling a little directionless or rudderless after graduating. So he's got the technical skills. He just doesn't have the connections. How can he go about making those connections? He's in New York. He has the skills.
You just got to make dope shit. Just make something dope. That you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like don't get caught up in connections. I mean, you already missed out on that. I mean, it'll come to you. I think if you start making, if there's such thing as a scene where you are and you participate in that scene, you'll make the connections. Like school wasn't like your last chance to network.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know enough about your field, but I'm pretty sure there's openings all over the fucking place, and you can usually approach people. Most people are approachable. You know, maybe not the stars, but yeah, I don't know what the cure for this is, other than you just rolling the dice, taking your chances, making dope shit, making art. You know, you'll make connections in no time, right? I mean, that's pretty much the only thing you can do. Or you could threaten somebody. You could like run up in NYU with a pistol out. I mean, I'm sorry, run up in Berkeley with a pistol out. You know, they don't have any. And be like, yo, I would demand the names and numbers of everybody that was in my class.
Well, the other thing is, Berkeley's in Boston, and now he's in New York. Whenever you move from one big city to another, you have an opportunity to break out into a new scene, right?
Right. I mean, what an upgrade, though.
Yeah, Boston and New York is a good upgrade. But what I would say is, first he needs to figure out like what he wants to do in music. You know, does he want to be a recording engineer? Does he want to be a drum tuner for bands, for like live music? What does he want to do? And then, like you said, get hooked into that scene as best he can. I mean, if he just graduated from college or recently graduated from college, like he's in his 20s. Like you got all the time in the fucking world, dude. Just he's taking care of his depression, which is the main thing. And then the second thing is just find a gig that can pay the bills, but that puts you in proximity to the people who can put you on that track that you want to be on. That's the main thing. Figure out what you want to do, then figure out who can hire you in that track or put you in touch with the people who can, and then just be around them as much as possible.
Yeah. And push come to shove,
and make yourself useful.
Threaten someone with a gun. Okay, guys, that's a good wrapping point. Don't forget to follow me on socials at BS Comedian, my website, BrianSimpsonComedy.com, for the tour dates. Don't forget to go to the Comedy Frequency, our production company. Don't forget to follow, don't forget Apocalypse Now with Eddie Pepitone and Kevin Tinkin. And don't forget, the Josh Potter Show is always on our wonderful network. Did I forget anything? Oh, yeah, and don't forget to check out our sponsors. Thank you.